It's a much sicker process, allowing us to actually demand more from it. And that's the unfortunate thing for the effects people. As soon as they make their job easier by some advance, production people just ask for more.
There's a change in the requirements of the animation as we move from documentaries into semi-documentaries, which have a bit of drama, and into full drama. And so we found that the animators who become skillful at portraying really lifelike extinct creatures in a faux wildlife documentary then had to learn new skills when we needed to add character to the creatures.
To get things right, the animators are involved from almost the start. We initially work from the scripts and get a rough idea of what effects we think are going to be needed to be delivered for the show. Director Stilla Word's first character was Rex, the flying lizard.
We wanted Rex to have his own very specific character. We wanted him to be cheeky and naughty, but we wanted the cheekiness to sometimes be not sweet, but actually sometimes a bit naughty.
What we found with all the creatures really is there are certain mannerisms that they can do that will give clues to what their character is. And when an animator hits on that mannerism, then it's kind of bingo, that's it. With Rex, there was a lot of mammalian characteristics to Rex, even though he's a lizard. One of our animators has a cat, and she'd come in and get ideas from her cat and come in and say, hey, why don't I make Rex do something like this? And a lot of the time it really worked. Puppy dog elements were put into Rex, as well as a kind of quick bird-like movements of the head and little tilts of the head that made him look very cute.
We were worried about Rex because it had to match an animatronic lizard, and that's always difficult because animatronics are built of rubber with metal skeletons inside, and they tend to look very different from our creatures.
Animatronics are mechanical creatures used when the interaction with the actor is extremely close.
This is Rex. He's our animatronic lizard. He's very lovable, very cuddly. Chris, do you want to give me a hand off? Chris did all the mechanisms for Rex, and Andy's favourite friend, and all the cast and crew are really quite fond of him now.
Most of the shots you've been carried around, so as long as the back end was animated, the film was animated, it was all moving realistically and believably. So it's just a 2-week mechanising job. So this is what we can get in 2 weeks.
But in order for Rex to really come alive, he needed his very own voice.
Rex was most probably one of the hardest creatures to find a voice for, because we'd always decided that rather than being a lizard, which has no real sound, we wanted Rex to have his own very specific character.
Rex was a tricky one. Everyone on the production had an idea about how he should sound. He's the dinosaur that everyone wants to have at home with them. So to base him entirely on reptilian sounds wouldn't have given him the cute factor.
Rex, come here, stop messing around.
The process of finding his voice started initially by looking for an animal that actually had character within its own right, and our editor Adam had discovered the voice of a raccoon.
I then experimented with various frog noises to give it a sense of bark, a sharpness to it, and cutting into the raccoon noise, which worked with the frame store's images of a yapping kind of cheeky chap. It's a radically different job to anything I've worked on in the past. It's the first time that I've been asked to create things I have no idea what they're actually going to sound like. I'm very happy with the sound of the Gorg, the combination of metal, human voice and animal working to create a very creepy roar that just cuts through. It brings associations of sounds we know, sounds that terrify us.
Back on location, Jamie manages to get ahead of his schedule, but then nature intervenes.
Today's a big day. You know, we're shooting the end of the series, and
can't shoot. We can't beat them. That's what happens when you talk about messing up the art. Maybe we're doing that. Maybe.
The next day brings clear blue skies, but the crucial greenhouse scene is still at the back of Jamie's mind.
Okay, good. We're just going to do one more of those, please, guys. Carl, you alright now? Do one more on this side, and then we'll change space.
It's been going dozy, almost. You know, it's up and down, like any job.
We need to pick up the whole scene for the greenhouse day, apart from one shot. You know, we all know you've got to get the coverage to make the kind of excitement of the sequence, but to balance it off with the demands of the kind of CGI, that just, you know, that day was a great lesson.
Me and my friend Duncan, in the script, we adopt this dodo, we find it by chance, and we decide to take it under our wing because we're quite into conspiracies and we think that they're kind of cloning them or breeding them.
Oh my god, I turned Connor into a turkey.
So we take this one and we take it back to our flat, and we're kind of quite matey with it, we like it, it's quite sweet, and then it turns a bit, bites me. Which is why I turn a bit to bite people, because it's got parasite.
I think one of the things we're keen to get in the series is variety. It's not always a huge pair of teeth coming through and eating people. So to have suddenly a flock of dodos is a lovely thing for a zoologist. They are also an icon of extinction. And there's this lovely moment where Kata is just overjoyed to see a live dodo again.
Don't let them go!
I don't know why, but when they said, okay, how does a dodo move? And I tried to show how a dodo moved. For a start, it looks like a demented chicken high on, I don't know what. It changes its direction, it bumps into things, it goes in and out of cupboards, its feet, would kind of cross over, which is a very difficult thing to animate. So the leg movement and how that moves in the body was very difficult. God knows the level of work that goes on back at Framestore to make that happen.
The main thing that we had to do with our creatures was, instead of them being sort of wild animals that are out grazing or, and just being animals, is we wanted to give this feeling that they were more intelligent than that.
Dodos. Oh, so cute.
And that we could see them thinking on the screen, and we could see them deciding to attack someone or go for something.